Watching out for you tonight, we're taking a closer look at a crime that sadly happens far too often: human trafficking. News 5's Allison Zimmerman brings us the story of one local woman who fell victim to traffickers and tells us what we can all do moving forward.
I guess the most important thing to remember is that it can happen to absolutely anybody.
JADEN Davis was 11 years old when she was first trafficked in Colorado.
It takes a toll on your body when you talk about it. I shake a lot when I talk about it.
Those days lasted for 7 years. Davis says it started with getting involved with the wrong people.
But I felt so stuck in this situation and stuck with these people that I was scared. I was scared of the outcome.
It would introduce her to older men.
And I was naive. I was like, oh, these men, they love me and they're not doing anything wrong.
She would return home at night, keeping it to herself.
If anybody had asked me, I would have denied it. It wasn't anything my parents did. It wasn't anything I did. It happened out of pure circumstance. And then it continued to happen because I kept either bumping into or finding these people who would do these awful things to me.
Davis was one of dozens of children trafficked every year in the state. But the typical image of trafficking, kids being transported and moved into the back of buildings, isn't the reality for most. And law enforcement says it's the case in Colorado.
Is there awareness? Yeah. Is it always the right awareness? Is it people looking at it for what it really is? I don't think so.
In most cases, kidnapping isn't how it begins. Typically, perpetrators use grooming techniques, gaining trust among potential victims. And with technology becoming more prevalent in our everyday lives, it happens online too.
The trafficker preys on these emotions and lures that person in until they're trapped.
CSPD says what's important is for all of us to stay vigilant.
See something that doesn't add up, and we've all been in a situation where you go, something's not right there.
In Davis's case, she battled a drug addiction over those years, when something she can only describe as a sign from God, someone she knew rescuing her, pointing her in a direction she needed.
All I said was, I need help, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Davis went through a couple of programs and eventually ended up at Sarah's home in El Paso County to work with girls who've been sex trafficked.
The emotions when they first come in are anger, fear, resentment.
Through the program, Davis was able to get the help she needed, even getting her high school diploma.
I didn't know at the time that I have a purpose. I know now that I have a purpose. Hi.
And now, about 3 years later, she's married with a baby boy and working to help other kids going through what she went through as she learns about herself along the way.
People look at you more with pity than with encouragement or understanding, and that's probably one of the hardest things, just the healing process, and the healing doesn't end.
Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. Allison Zimmerman, News 5.
There is a lot of information available from various government agencies and nonprofits about this topic, as well as resources on how to learn to spot the signs of trafficking and where to report it. You can find these up on our website right now at KOAA.com.